Developing at 6 tonight, former President Donald Trump files an appeal to reverse a decision in Maine to bar him from the state's primary ballot.
And Maine Secretary of State Sheena Bellows cites Section 3 of the 14th Amendment as her decision to ban the former president. Now, it prohibits those who, quote, engage in insurrection from holding office. Trump's appeal now heads to a Maine Superior Court. The former president is also expected to appeal a similar ban by the Colorado Supreme Court, which could go to the U.S. Supreme Court.
Well, tonight, Queen City News Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rose joins us.
All right, Khalif, a lot to unpack with this. So first, what happens next?
What happens next is you break it down in two places. In Colorado, the U.S. Supreme Court will have to make a determination, and then in Maine, the state Supreme Court will have to make a determination. And both of those determinations will be if the former president can appear on the ballot in those respective states. Remember, this has been challenged in a number of places across the country, even here in North Carolina. 16+ states, the courts have held that they would dismiss those cases either voluntarily or the court made a decision to dismiss them. But in Maine and Colorado, two places where they decided that based on the insurrection clause, the former president could not be on the ballot based on the Constitution.
Just to clarify real quick, do we know right now if the Supreme Court is definitely going to get involved?
Well, he's made an appeal to the Supreme Court, and so the next step, that would be his logical next step and only next step for Colorado's decision, because Colorado's highest court, their state Supreme Court, has already made the decision. The only place to go is to the U.S. Supreme Court. Now, they will have to grant cert and have to decide to hear the case, which you would think they would. When you have this difference of opinion, when you have multiple states and multiple courts making different decisions, the highest court in the land has to make the final decision.
But in just the last hour, Trump did file an appeal on the Colorado Supreme Court, which is the Colorado case to the Supreme Court, which is already gone there. So where does that going to happen?
They have to make a determination. So just because you file an appeal to the Supreme Court, they have the discretion to deny. I mean, they get thousands of appeals every year, and they only take a handful. Normally, it's issues that are constitutional, and they're issues that are deeply divided. This is clearly a deeply divided issue. We're talking about the office for the President of the United States, and so we need clarity. Clarity needs to be established. And does this insurrection clause, does it point to the president's office? His team says they're not even talking about the president. We're talking about state senators and House of Representatives.
Yeah, those ballots got to be printed on Friday, I think.
And so we don't have much time. This has to be decided like instantly. So right now, you would think the U.S. Supreme Court will make a determination.
Well, also, too, though, and correct me if I'm wrong, once we find out if the Supreme Court is going to get involved with this, that then sets precedent for all 50 states. I mean, they could essentially say that, right?
And that is the case. And so sometimes they'll hear a case and they'll say, we're only talking about this case.
Right.
We'll just address this individual case. You guys can kind of make up your own mind. You can guarantee if they decide to hear this case, they're going to say it's going to be for the entire country, for sure.
All right. Well, Khalif Rhodes, thank you so much for your insight, as always.